Mm-hmm. All right. Hello, hello. It's time for the second ever episode of Arkadium's The Daily Crossword Live. So if you were here with us yesterday for the first one, then welcome back. But if you're new, then let me tell you how this works. So we are going to be solving one of Arkadium's crossword puzzles together. So I have this crossword puzzle loaded on screen, and if you see a clue that you think you know the answer to, then just type it into the chat, and I'll try to keep up with the answers. My name's Jack. I'll guide us through the puzzle, but hopefully we solve it together. I'd love for this to be as collaborative as possible. Yesterday we did an awesome job, and I'm looking forward to the same today. So I just need to set up my chats here for a second just to make sure I can see everybody's comments. One second. Okay. That should be good. And let's dive right into this puzzle. So I'm seeing... Sorry, one more second. Yeah, great. Welcome, Ahin. So I am seeing one across, which is where you pretty much always start a crossword puzzle. A sense. Now already this is kind of a puzzling clue to me because this could either be like, in a sense, it could mean, like some phrasal equivalent to in a sense. But it could also just literally be one of the five senses. I see taste fits, smell fits. But the fact that two different senses fit makes me think that maybe we'll need some crosses, so maybe we should move on from this. Let's check one down. Recorded. Recorded. What do we think? Yeah, I think I have some thoughts for this. We discussed yesterday how the tense of the clue always matches the tense of the answer. So the fact that recorded is a past tense verb, it's not record, makes me think that this is going to be a past tense answer. So there's probably a D here, right, in this 23 square. I'm going to take a guess and say taped. Like if something is taped, it's not live, like we are right now. It's pre-recorded. So I think that fits the clue decently well. And something else I also really like about it is that this T kind of agrees with our earlier sentiments about the one across clue, that taste was one of the possible answers for one across, and the fact that we have a T in place makes me think that that was indeed correct. So already off to a great start. I mean, when you have one across and one down, now every answer in this section, we have like the first letter of the word. So that's always kind of a good anchor to get us going. Let's see. So 14 across, we have female singers. Female singers. It's a little puzzling to me. I'm not 100%. Let me know if any of you have any ideas. We'll take a look at 17 too, in case that's easier. Wharves. Huh. Okay. What are we thinking? So we have female singers, we have wharves. And if that's still too hard, let's look at 20 across. December 24 and 31. Okay, what do those two dates have in common? What is special about December 24th? What's special about December 31st? I mean, December 25th is Christmas. January 1st is New Year's Day. So, like, these are like the days before, right? What are those called? All right. So I will start filling some of these in because I have some instincts about what these are. So these are both Eves, right? New Year's Eve and Christmas Eve. It's the night before the big days, the big holidays. Female singers, I'm not 100% sure, but I see that altos fits. So it's like alto, soprano, tenor, and bass, and the alto tends to be a female part. So let's see if that does any good work for us. Okay, a curvy letter. All right, there aren't that many letters in the alphabet, so it's one of 26. We already have two letters in. It's a little strange, so I think the answer is S here. I mean, S is a curvy letter. You could see it right there. Um, Sometimes crosswords do this. They like spell out letters of the alphabet. So this is kind of a strange entry, but it's something you will see if you solve a bunch of crosswords. Are we any closer on wharves? Or maybe we should look at the downs now because we have a lot in place. Animated. So this could mean animated like an animated film, like not live action. But it could also just mean, uh, you know, full of spirit, like an animated person. And three down is make tea. So when you make tea, what do you do? What do you do with the tea bag? So I think animated is going to be alive. So yeah, not quite animated in the sense of a movie, but animated in the sense of a person, looking really alive. Or I mean, honestly, inanimate sort of means like an object that isn't alive, right? So I think that fits pretty well. And then when you make tea, you steep the tea bag. Now 17 across is coming into focus. We only have one more letter. What are wharves? Where's a famous wharf? So I think wharves are like piers. I'm thinking of San Francisco has a famous wharf, and it's the pier off into the harbor. All right, so now I always breathe a sigh of relief when we're done with the first corner of a puzzle. I feel like now I have the full confidence that we can solve this. Hi, Sergey G. So upper bodies, four down. We have a lot of letters in place. What do we think? Upper bodies. And that's crossing 23 across bank statement entry. It's always somehow easier to see a word when you have the first few letters in place rather than just a smattering throughout the word. So we know this starts. Nice, Mahin, torsos. That's exactly right. It's our first community answer. Kudos to you. Yeah, torsos, exactly. So your upper body is your torso, basically, not your limbs. All right, and then any thoughts on what a bank statement entry could be? I have some thoughts, but let's get a couple clues going in the collective short-term memory. Teamster's rig, huh? God, I know what a teamster is, but I also kind of don't. What's a teamster? Sergey, nice work. Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's a deposit. A bank statement entry is a deposit, right? Deposits and withdrawals, those are the things you're going to see on your bank statement most likely. Oops. Okay, a religious order, four letters starting with S, crossing a teamster's rig, four letters starting with S. And then we also have Peruvian capital. This showed up in yesterday's puzzle. If anyone was here yesterday, you should definitely know this. It had a different clue yesterday. I can't remember. It might have been more vague, like a South American capital. But what's the capital of Peru? We got the capital of Peru, we got a religious order, and we've got a Teamster's rig. Those are the ones we're working on right now. And if we're still unsure, I'll look at 21 across, behind schedule. Nice, Sergey. Yeah, Lima. Exactly. Lima's the capital of Peru. It's a lovely place. And now we have another letter in this. This is a tough clue, at least for me. Because I'm not 100% sure what a Teamster refers to. But I think I know that a religious order is going to be a sect, right? Like religious divisions, different branches of a religion. So let's see what this L in Lima bought us. Behind schedule. Starting with an L, 4 letters. Yeah, it was kind of tough without the L, but I think I'm seeing it now. When you're behind schedule. And if you're just joining, we're solving this crossword together. If you see any clues that you know the answer to, just type them into chat and I will gladly take your input. Late, nice. I like late. I think that's right. If you're behind schedule, you're running late. Yeah, fits beautifully. All right, let's venture into this kind of second hump of the camel here. Skin irritation. E. It's slightly vague because I feel like it could be a couple of things. The one that jumps out to me first is maybe rash, but I feel like there are other 4-letter skin irritations. I don't know, cyst isn't quite as apt as rash, but I'm just a little hesitant to plunk letters in just yet. Let's see if 15 across helps at all. Stable female. I'm guessing this isn't stable as in just the adjective, like a stable person. I think that this is going to be like a horse's stable. So, what is a female horse called? So we got a stable female, we got a skin irritation. Let's look at this other little short one here. Chick's mom. Okay, we got 2 female animals here. Chick's mom crossing stable female. I think a stable female is a mare. Am I wrong about that? There's all these terms for, nice, yeah, Sergey got it as well. There are all these terms for like the male version of an animal, the female version of an animal, the child version of an animal. I cannot keep them all straight. So I'm not 100% on this, but the fact that Sergey agrees makes me feel better about it. Town's announcer. So we have town's announcer with a couple of letters in place. Maybe it's time we look at this long one. Intolerant of delay. Huh. Intolerant of delay. It's not obvious, is it? It's not obvious. Okay, I see something now. So I think a Teamster's rig down here, this clue we were working on earlier, I think it's a semi, referring to like a semi-truck, a semi-trailer, you know, like those big trucks on the highway. I know they call those rigs sometimes. I wish I knew exactly what Teamster was referring to, but that's what you guys are for, to fill in the gaps in my knowledge. And now that we have this I, I'm thinking intolerant of delay is going to be impatient. Right, like if you're impatient, you're tapping your toe, you can't wait another second. Although now that I say that, this CAE is Okay, so this is a good, I mean, solving tip in general. If you ever see sort of an unusual pileup of letters, like most words, there are not that many words that start with CAE, right? It's a strange mix of letters. And so I checked it right away just to be like, do I have an error in the grid? Is one of these wrong? But now it says Roman general, and now that they say that, I actually do see a word that fits here. Let me know if you guys see it. So Roman general that starts with CAE. And by the way, a lot is happening now because rash was indeed incorrect. If impatient is right, then this can't. Caesar, yes, exactly. Good job. Yeah, Caesar. Which is maybe like the only word that starts with CAE. Can we think of like Caesarean, I suppose, but it's basically the same word. Um, yeah, and it was a good thing we didn't put rash in here because I think it would have taken longer to see impatient. Now having an I in place, this makes a little more sense to me. We can also look at this other long one. School leader, starting with a P. Oof. Longer entries are always harder to see because like you just have to fill in so many more letters mentally. So I think a skin irritation might be an itch, right? And that worked nicely with a chick's mom, which is probably a hen. So we're moving right along. And yeah, the great thing about crosswords, like, this entry is just too long for me to say. I have no idea what a school leader could be at this point. But you get a cross for every letter. So you could just kind of chip away at the answer one letter at a time. A small pie. This would have been hard without all these letters in place, but I think I see it now. We got a small pie and we got a town's announcer. Any thoughts on these? I'll leave them in case anyone has any ideas. Let's keep these in view. Small pie, town's announcer, and in the meantime, I'll check out this brand new section over here. Formerly. Not a very specific clue. Formerly. Function. Ooh, a lot of vagaries over here. I'm just kind of fishing around for some clue that gives me an anchor in this section. Clothed. Yikes. Elongated fish. Huh. Normally I'd think that this was an eel. Oh, actually, fish, it could be plural, right? Elongated fish could be eels. I actually sort of suspect that's what it is. That was tricky because it's not obvious when you read elongated fish. You're picturing the singular when you read this, or at least I was. Let's see if these letters help at all. Formerly, yeah, I have a thought this could be once. Like, I was once known as this. I was formerly known as this. It's not 100% lock for me, but it seems plausible at least. I'm comfortable enough to put it in with maybe an asterisk next to it. Clothed. I'm still not seeing this. Still not seeing clothed. Yeah, negative reply. I still don't see this either,